So one thing's for certain, when Arcade1Up first burst onto the scene, a lot of people clamored and demanded light-up marquees. And unfortunately, we haven't really been able to get those for a lot of the cabinets. Now, some of the Arcade1Up cabinets do come with it, so the Golden Tee and the new Star Wars cabinet will come with lighted marquees standard. But as far as the old school Generation 1 and most of Generation 2 cabinets, well, a lot of us are left to our own devices. Luckily, there's an amazing community out there that supports this need, and that's why today I thought it'd be a great idea to go ahead and compare and contrast two offerings that we have available to us today as far as third-party light-up marquees. We have the gold standard Arcade Game Factory. Comes in this box. Right now it's priced $50. There's several versions available, as well as opportunities to get light up marquees for your countercades, so that's nice. And then we have new to me anyway, Arcade1Up.com offering. This is actually GameRoomSolutions.com. This is kind of their sister site, but this is what they sent. So first things first, let's go ahead and state the obvious. The packaging is different. So the Arcade Game Factory puts this in a much larger, thicker box. It does slide around in the box, so hopefully it doesn't break, but as well built as these plexiglass panels are, I don't really see a lot of breakage unless your postman is just legitimately soccer kicking this up and down your front. So Arcade1Up, very slim. In fact, it's just got an opening there, so kind of slides around there. It is wrapped, but just pinched on the end. So again, if you have a lackluster postal delivery UPS guy or anything like that, and your packages tend to show up damaged and squished a lot of the time, I don't know. Maybe avoid this and or pay a little extra and ask for some additional packaging. That's the only real thing that's jumping out to me, is this could be a little bit better done. I know they're probably trying to save some money, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and open these. First things first, we'll start with the Arcade Game Factory. Now in this one, this is just a blank marquee. I ordered this one without graphics because I have a different project in mind for this one later. But you can order pretty much any graphic you want on it, and he has multiple options. He has his first design, which was the non-standard clear design, and then after that he started offering the blackout version. And the reason why it was called the blackout, so here is the original standard edition. What I had to do was put some duct tape here on the bottom, because as a result of his first couple of batches, this clear plexi on the bottom, a lot of people complained that it had light bleed out the bottom, and that was one of the things that I definitely noticed instantly as soon as I put it on the cabinet. There was this 1-inch glowing light out of the bottom of the cabinet. But other than that, I mean, this thing looks absolutely beautiful. The artwork is spot on to everything that it should be. It even has the copyright logo, you know, for Midway, so 100% nailed the details. Said if you got one of these older versions, all you have to do is throw some duct tape on there, piece of cake. He's got the new and improved blackout version, which kind of remedies that situation, so you no longer have to worry about that. So either way, anything you're going to get from the Arcade Game Factory, it's going to look great. What you get in the kit: 2 screws to put it on your cabinet, and then the LED strip itself. These things are crazy bright. I can't really emphasize that enough. And then your power supply, so you just hook this up to your standard Arcade1Up power supply, and then a toggle switch to turn off your marquee on and off, if you so desire. So, like I said, comes bubble wrap. And again, I got this one blank, so I've got just a plexiglass with a protective coat here, and then the polycarbonate that I would put the graphic on, and then you would light through the back of it. So that's what that looks like. And this is what I was talking about with the older designs, the bottom of it being clear. So once you put your light source on it, it would shine the light out the bottom, and then you would have this glowing 1-inch glare on your LCD screen on your arcade cabinet. So that was kind of a drawback, but like I said, easily fixed with duct tape or by ordering his new blackout edition. You're gonna like this one too. I know it. All right, I can ever get this opened up. So we have my Ninja Turtles. You know I got to get that Ninja Turtles cabinet the moment it is for sale. So in anticipation of that, I needed a lit marquee just to round that off, because that cabinet is perfect otherwise, and this is really the only thing I would ever change on that would be the fact that it didn't come with a lit marquee. So problem solved. Gonna light up that marquee, and then inside we have the power source as well as a LED ribbon cable. Now this is extremely long. This is actually much longer than necessary, which is good because you're going to get a more even light in your marquee. So once you put that in there, you're going to get a much more steady, even flow of light, and that way you're not going to have hot spots in the top or the bottom. Okay, so right out of the gate there are some obvious differences between the two. So the one from Arcade1Up does not have the back end, so you will have to repurpose your old marquee. So you just take these screws out, 1, 2, 3, take this bottom piece off here, and then you will secure it onto the back of the Arcade1Up marquee. And another little detail, the one from Arcade1Up has a very straight line as far as the cut in the back of the plexiglass for where you connect the top piece of board on the back of your arcade cabinet. Now, that's not really a major deal, but the one from the Arcade Game Factory, let's actually show this one. So this one, see that there, has an upward incline, and that actually makes this fit much more snugly and secure onto the cabinet itself. So that is one thing to note if you're trying to choose between the two. I did test fit this, and this actually does fit well enough with that. I will say the Arcade Game Factory one just fits that much more securely because it has that upward cut. So if they were going to improve upon this, definitely I would add the upward slant to the cut. Okay, pros and cons time. So let's go ahead and start off with the Arcade Game Factory. Priced at $50. The build quality is exceptional. The print quality is spot on, 100% accurate. No blurriness. All the little details, even the copyright things from the brand. The light source itself, this solid strip LED, is by far the brightest compared to the two. And it also has a toggle switch to turn the light on and off, which is very important because if you're one of those people that leaves your cabinets plugged in at all times, if you go with the Arcade1Up one, well then you're going to have a lit up marquee 24/7, which may or may not be something that bothers you. So keep that in mind if you're thinking about the others. Con for this would be the wait time. So I ordered this and I had to wait roughly a month after my order before it actually showed up to my door, which is fine. It's very open and honest about turnaround times, and if you go into that knowing you're going to wait a while and you expect that, perfectly acceptable. But if you're expecting to order your marquee and then get it by the end of the week, well, that's not going to be the case. So in that instance, you would be better off with something like the one from Arcade1Up. This one, the LED was not as bright, but I didn't find that to be detrimental overall. Quite frankly, I think the LED with it is more than sufficient. One negative would, like I said, be the fact that it doesn't have the toggle switch, so keep that in mind. But this is $10 more. However, I ordered this and I got this within a week of my order. So if you're worried about getting something sooner rather than later, definitely go the route of Arcade1Up, as well as I will say they had tons of other options as far as what graphics you could get, as well as they made it very easy to send in your own graphics. So if you're familiar with Photoshop or any kind of programs like that and you're handy with it, you want to make your own marquee, well, by God, you can do that. All you have to do is send them the file. In fact, they will actually send you a template that you can work on. And once you send that file into them, they will print your marquee and then go ahead and send you out the kit. So definitely Two great options. I'm not going to say one or the other is better because quite frankly I think they both have pros, cons, strengths, and weaknesses, and honestly I think they're both great choices. I don't think you can go wrong with either or, so definitely check them out. I'll put the web links down below so you can go to the store and hit them up. Definitely support these guys because they're just trying to, you know, help you guys out with a need that Arcade1Up has so far not done. And if you're wondering about Arcade1Up themselves making their own lit marquees, well, that is something that is definitely in the pipeline. It is currently still being developed, so we don't have an ETA on that, but I do know that is something that they will roll out, which makes perfect sense because quite honestly, they're leaving a little bit of money on the table with these kind of add-on accessories like the lit marquees. $50 seems to be the going rate for these, $50 to $60, and I think that's a very reasonable price. I like it. Working with acrylic is not easy, so I'm more than happy to let somebody else mess that up or figure it out because I don't like working with acrylic. It's very difficult to work with, so if you're a do-it-yourselfer and you never experienced cutting acrylic, I definitely recommend leaving it to the pros with the applicable tools. Anyways, that's all we have for this video. I want to thank you guys for checking out the video. If you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get all the notifications every time I upload new content. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.